Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is actually a video that I'm testing out a gift that a really nice guy Pizzow sent me. Now, if this does end up working, the funny thing is I already pre-recorded about 10 other reviews with this microphone. So, uh, again, so the next 10 or so reviews will be that. But if this works out, I will start using this, and I can't thank Pizzow enough if that's the case. Again, even if it's not the case, I can't thank Pizzow enough. Very, very nice guy. Check out his channel, Pizzowell. He didn't ask for that. I'm just saying it because he does a great job with interviews with Adam Marcus, and I think he did one with Don Coscarelli, and the star of Silent Night Dead Night Part 2, Eric Freeman. He's like good friends with Eric Freeman now. So he's doing a great job. So, and he was on this panel called the Sausage Factory, which I was thankfully part of. He was nice enough to have me be part of that for a bit. So again, if you're watching Pizzow, thank you so much. But we will see. Now I'm testing it out on this, which is another request from Jose Ballard, and is for a commentary on X-Men Origins Wolverine. So shit, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play, and put my, there we go. Which, if this works out, will be even better because I don't have to keep holding this to the with the microphone. But we'll definitely see. So here we go. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Holy shit. That's all I can say. This is a film that I wanted to be good. I really did want it to be good because, I mean, it's a Wolverine film. It's like, wow, we finally got a Wolverine flick. How cool is that? And then you realize you did not really need an origin movie for Wolverine. I think that's one of the first mistakes of many with this film, is you did not need an origin for Wolverine. We already got that, and at least enough that we care about in X-Men 2. The fact that you have this whole backstory about him being a kid and his brother Sabretooth, which, this is a stupid question. Is that canon that Sabretooth and Wolverine are brothers in the comics? That shows how illiterate I am with the comic books. I've never said I'm an expert on Wolverine in the comics. I haven't read much of them. I know of the character from the X-Men cartoon and the movies. I've read snippets of issues of comics, but yeah, I haven't been an avid reader. I know he has the bone claws, which I forgot what issue it was when they did the reveal that, oh, he has bone claws, because you just assume that was done to begin with. This one guy kind of looks like Sabretooth when it's a more grown-up version. The guy holding the mom, whatever the fuck. See it, and then right there, the Gavin Hood's direction, where you don't have the kid go, ah, like, hold my hand, you know. Luke, I am your father. He's got the beard. Mom, this mom's a whore. Put some fucking shoes on at least, some socks. Go out there fucking barefoot and shit. What the fuck? You meant it and you don't like it. You gave it to him, man. You gave him the pump. Jimmy? What's the other brother's name? Billy? Bimmy and Jimmy? That'd be funny. The other guy's name is Bimmy. Bimmy and Jimmy. We're brothers. From other mothers. See, again, the thing with this film is that, truthfully, this upcoming montage is actually pretty decent. This montage through the times of war. It's actually not that bad of a idea. And it's well done, like seeing through all the wars. So seeing through Civil War and the World Wars and sadly, I would say this is one of the best scenes in the movie, and it's the opening credits. And Lee Schreiber did not do a bad job acting as Sabretooth. I mean, I would say he's a better actor than Tyler Mane. It's just the way the character is written isn't really what I prefer. I mean, call me simplistic, but I prefer the more antagonist approach in the first X-Men film. Which, how the hell does that work continuity-wise? Like, you have Sabretooth that looks like Tyler Mane in the first X-Men, and then you have this. I guess, what, that Sabretooth didn't know that this guy's his brother? It's a bit weird, don't you think? But I mean, now we're going through World War II, and then we're going to see Vietnam. I just load in seeing the more brutality of I keep wanting to say Lee Schreiber's character. More bloodthirsty of the two. And you think about, like, each one of these, you had to have a different setup, a different set. You had to build, like, all the stuff in World War II era. You had to build those trenches in the World War I era. Like, all this stuff here you have to build. All the extras you gotta get. All this time and effort for all of this. And again, this entire setup to do. That's I mean, that's quite a bit of money put into that. Quite a bit of money. And of course, I guess Logan protecting his brother, even though he was in the wrong. Richard Donner had a hand in this? Well, I just got a paycheck, probably. Yeah, Steve Woods. Steve Woods is not really the best writer for this kind of film. A lot of his stuff is just not the best when it comes to writing. And Stryker, I guess this is the Brian Cox character in X-Men 2. Is this one of those where Wolverine, when he got his own film, I mean, the title, having to put the X-Men origins in there, like no one knows what the fuck Wolverine is or who he is. You didn't need X-Men origins in front of it. That's because they want to do this series of films like X-Men Origins Magneto, probably X-Men Origins, I don't know, Beast, X-Men Origins Cyclops, whoever the fuck else they want to do with it, which was a dumb idea. And this is when Fox, bad ideas like this is why Fox got bought out by Disney years later. The series of multitude of bad decisions. And this, it shows you can't make so many bad decisions. This is what Sony had to think of, their film division. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. It's so weird looking at this now that we have Deadpool and Deadpool 2. And yeah, just weird looking back seeing this and just... Yeah, sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just... The whole Deadpool thing, it's like... If you ever read a comic book, why would you think this would be a good idea to turn the character into this? And be like, okay, Ryan Reynolds, casting, good. But not having the suit, not having any remote nature, and then the whole getting rid of his mouth later, just a multitude of bad decisions. Like I said, make it an origin story. I don't think many people gave a shit about the origin of Wolverine. You know what they wanted in a Wolverine standalone movie? Wolverine, R-rated, brutal, doing the best what he does, but what he does isn't nice. Tearing through people, then tearing through mutants. Think of some villains from the comics or your own imagination that have a badass personality. Either they're smart, contextual villain like Tom Lee Jones in Under Siege or Alan Rickman in Die Hard, as well as some physical threats we've seen done in many successful action films. Again, you can do that. It's not against the law. And have Wolverine kick some ass for 80, 90 minutes. And Gavin Hood, like, I don't understand, why did they hire Gavin Hood? What did Gavin Hood do to get him the role of the director? Like, you would think this would be a big movie to get right. Like, Wolverine at this point is the most popular character in the X-Men saga they built up. Of all, like, this is one that you would think, yeah, we need to get this right. And you have this team that Stryker put together to do their fucking deed. I mean, I don't mind Ryan Reynolds' performance, but just, again, what they did with the character. Like, maybe this opening with Wade Wilson would be fine. But, again, just what they did with the character. Let's give him all these other powers and no mouth, and like the way he looks, it just people wrote this like they don't know shit about the comics. You would think you wanted to know at least a little bit of the comics to write the shit. And also, of course, I it's the whole PG-13 thing. Like you make a Wolverine film and you make it PG-13. So you get this whole thing where, okay, he's got these swords, but he can't really do anything in the swords. So block a shitload of bullets, ricochet the bullets, stab off screen. But I think also with Ryan Reynolds, like, I mean, this could be anybody. This could be the fucking character in Blade Trinity. Again, when you get to the Deadpool films, that really showcases Deadpool himself. Yeah, I'm not even a guy that read a shitload of Deadpool comics, but even I know that much. I mean, is this the worst movie ever? I just say Hugh Jackman, he plays the role well. I don't think he ever really faltered in his performance as Wolverine. But again, you sit there and you go, you want to see Wolverine unleash, and you never get that until Logan, and then he dies. But yeah, I wanted to see him unleash on mutants, R-rated style. I wanted to see him really go for broke on that, and again, at least you got that a little bit in Logan, but it's such that you had to wait for the last film that he dies in to do that. And the story, like, there's really nothing that interesting about the like. This is a story that if you name 4 or 5 films, you compile them together, and you've seen this done so many times before. I mean, how many times have you seen the story about your hero's part of this team? The hero realizes the team is going too far, so he wants out of the team. And either the team hunts him down, or we don't want any witnesses, or you should not have said no to us. I've seen that in countless action films, including films that were direct to video in the 90s. And you just say maybe it plays off into the comic book, but just, you have the love story. Because it's an origin, you kind of know where it's going, because you know, oh, he has his loved one, something's going to happen to her, because there's no mention of that later on. You know that Sabretooth can't truly be dead because he's in the first X-Men movie, although looking very different. You know he's going to have to lose his memory sometime. You know that he's going to have to be experimented on. You know he's going to have to get the claws. So it's like you already know a lot of the beats of where the story's going. That's why doing prequels to me is not necessarily the best call of action because of that. And I'm not saying these movies are going to be incredibly unpredictable. For the most part, you want, or you wish, or you hope, or you think, the hero's going to fight the bad guy, the hero wins, the hero doesn't die. Although they do throw that at times out the window too, but this is like even more so. 6 years later, we're in the Canadian Rockies. And with the direction, there's really not much of style with the direction. I don't really see much style to it. It seems like anybody could have done this film. Meaning, if I looked at this film look, the cinematography, the camera work, or lack thereof. I mean, there's really nothing visually dynamic that sets it apart from any other movie, really. And and again, like, how many times have we seen the story about the guy was part of this team, he left for a better life, but of course his past is going to come back to haunt him, both sometimes figuratively, a lot of times literally, which is, the case here. And so as you watch it, what are you really getting out of it? Like Hugh Jackman's performance? Sure. I mean, Gambit wasted. He didn't even need to be in this movie. They just put it in there just for a gimmick. Hey, Gambit, you want to see Gambit? Come see this movie. Deadpool, like, horrible representation. Sabretooth, you can't kill him off. It's PG-13, so you can't tear people limb from limb. You have to hold back on the fight. Sometimes the effects on the claws are not that great, which is ridiculous for the budget they had. I know this is the film that I think some website or some person got a bootleg and then got shitload of trouble for it. What, you don't like light bulbs? So doing all those elite military missions, the best this guy ever did is a job at a carnival. Yeah, he ain't gonna make it. Guy definitely loves his fucking light bulbs. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. I'll keep a knocking and you can't come in. Show's over. Hey man, I haven't seen this in forever. I mean, this DVD, I think I got really dirt cheap because I think I saw this in the theater, and I'm like, a time waster, got it for cheap, for the collection of X-Men films. But I would watch this over some of the new X-Men films. At least I like Hugh Jackman in the movie, but yeah, there's nothing to run home about. That's really what the sad thing is. This is a movie that there's nothing in it to run home about. Not in terms of action, not in terms of plot or story, not in terms of direction. It's very bland. I think that's really the crux of the problem. It's a very bland movie. It's a bland film. Like, this guy says Wade's gone. So the whole Deadpool thing, we're 20 some minutes in and boom. The next time you see him, he has no mouth. So complete waste of Ryan Reynolds, complete waste of Deadpool. They underestimated what that character was. So now Sabretooth's going around killing the former teammates. So he's having a nightmare about all the wars he's been fighting in. I just think that there had to have been so many other more interesting or more creative or more violent filled, adrenaline pumping stories you could drive out of Wolverine. And they did 3 of them and 2 of them sucked. Because the second one wasn't much better in my opinion. And yeah, the third one, which I liked, but I'm not big on the ending, but I liked the movie. I do like Logan. It's a depressing fucking movie. And I guess you look at it as an alternate story. Unless you want to have it be like, oh, those X-Men films are pointless because everyone's dead. So if he got this Asian guy to work with him, the light bulb guy, they couldn't get to work with him too? Did he say no? Did he not even ask? I don't fucking know, man. I'm sorry, I think of Stryker and I just think of Airplane. Stryker, Stryker, Stryker! Ted Stryker? I know once in a while there's talks of Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine for like a Deadpool movie. And I'd be up for that because I enjoy the first 2 Deadpools. But now that we have Disney, do you really think they're gonna not fuck it up? Would I be up for it? Yes, in the fact of it'd be nice to see a Wolverine with Hugh Jackman one more time that is R-rated and also not depressing as fuck. That would be nice. I would like that. And in real life, he works well with Ryan Reynolds, so it'd be nice to if you wonder what this T-shirt is, it's Friday and it says "Damn." But even this, it reminds me a bit of Commando, where someone comes by, we're offering you this job. No, hey, I told him no. Then the loved one's probably gonna be kidnapped fairly soon. Run. Yeah, don't get out of the car. Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, and you got a pretty mouth, so maybe you should get the fuck out of there before you get fucked and roasted like a pig. Fucking Farmer Bob. Wanna be Roscoe Pico train? Yeah, don't take up the whole fucking bridge. There's enough to... You could park the truck on the side to talk and jack off, where the fuck. Nice mountain scenery. And yeah, this is one of those, again, stuff where it's trying to have this love story between these two, and it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know if it's the dialogue. Why is the moon lonely? I don't give a shit why the moon is lonely. I don't give a fuck about the moon having a mate and she went to the spirit asshole and they can't see us and we gotta go back to the spirit world. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Shit or fucks were not given in this domain. And you're just going, what the fuck? Like, when's the story gonna pick up? When's the story gonna truly start? I just technically it did, but it just says you're lollygagging the fuck around. And I'm sorry, the love story aspect didn't do much shit for me. But we set up the Wolverine and what something means, and that's why he puts the moniker Wolverine, gives it to himself for this experiment later on. Oh yeah, I now remember, because he finds his love of his life dead, realizes it's Sabretooth. Hey, if you do this, Lodian, you could hunt Sabretooth. Okay, do the experiment, go nuts, get the fuck out, go to a nudist camp, watch nudist colony of the dead. Oh, I could sniff Sabretooth that far. You could sniff it earlier? You could only sniff it when he was in the middle of the fucking road? Oh, he sniffed a dead body. Or I mean a dead animal. Hey lady, you can back up your truck? This thing called back up the truck? Cars can do that, lady. They can do this thing called backing up. You could probably go even 50 miles per hour. Lady, you do know you can drive, right? You do know you don't just have to sit there and stare at him. You do know that, right? It's not against the law to leave. They're staring dumbly. Duh. Maybe it's just her version of suicide. I'm going to sit here and let him do this. Again, there's this thing called backing up. Back it the fuck up. She dead, homeboy. Hombre. She dead. She fucked. She dead and she fucked. Whoops, there it is. Whoops, there it is. Oh, this is where you get the over-dramatic, melodramatic, bellow into the air shot. With the no. Gotta wait for it. See, again, any director worth their salt would go, this would... Yeah, I think there were people that laughed when I first saw this in the movie theater. Because it is such like a... It's like a parody, like a cliche... Again, it's like they try to make the safest movie possible, so they put all of these conceits, all of this stuff that you've seen so many times before because it worked then, but then again it just comes off as so bland and so milquetoast that there's no character, personality, or life into it. Except Hugh Jackman's performance and even Liev Schreiber. I don't blame Liev Schreiber for this. The way it's written, that's a different matter. Different matter. And manner. This fucking film has bad manners. He's too noisy at the table, picks his nose, picks his ears, picks his ass, smells it, all that other shit. Good stunt work, I'll give you that. Real people going through walls, that's a real person there, and then kudos to the stunt people for doing that. And again, like the way it's shot, the way it's edited, how do we hide these big slashes so we can still stick to PG-13? Now, how much more effective would that be if you saw it go into people's guts and going to the side and blood cascading down and like they're both just tearing each other to pieces, yet it keeps healing back up? Crushed by logs. Moves one giant log. So his full name is what? Jimmy Lodian? He keeps calling him Jimmy. Jimmy Lodian? I just never thought of him as a Jimmy. Jimmy Lodian. Or is it short for Jim? Jim Lodian. You're right, he's nothing like you. He's got, you have longer hair. Now, his skin and stuff rebuild, but would his bones from the claws rebuild too? And the guy just happens to be there. The doctors let him in. There's no police. I guess Stryker made the police leave. Like, there's nobody in the hallway. This hospital's more empty than Halloween 2. You're bullshit, all of it. You guys do your dirty work. We're not assets. You use us to get the job done, right? Because they're trying to build up this whole rationale as to why he let himself be fitted for this. It's been a while since I've seen it. I think, do you realize that the girl isn't really dead and she's working with the bad guys and there was all a ploy? I believe it's been a while since I've seen this. I do like this dialogue by Hugh Jackman. No code of no law, no code of conduct. But I mean, that's Hugh Jackman doing the best that he can. But I mean, it's not enough to save it. It's not enough to save the film. Because you do expect more out of a Wolverine film. It should have been so much more. It could have been so much more. And it's just simply not. And you have all the nice locales that you want, but it just doesn't matter. So now we get to the part where he's going to be experimented on and get the adamantium. We'll make you indestructible, but first we have to destroy you. That's a weird line of dialogue. I don't know. But also, I mean, you think about it, you're making a guy indestructible, and yet you still have no way to control him. That's just a bad call, Ripley. It's a bad call. Just a bad call. It's kind of like people just assumed, well, it's Wolverine, so automatically that'll give us the pass. So we'll do this basic, bland origin story. And it just... I almost want to call it by the numbers. I mean... this set must have cost him about $5. Well, to be truthful, more than that. Let me be fair on that. It's weird, you think of films like this, you think of all the people that worked on it. I mean, those credits that go on for like 10 minutes, and like all the people that created the this equipment in the tank right here. Someone had to build all that stuff. And it's like, okay, we did this work, and what did it really gain us? You know, a film that no one remembers, or if they remember it, they remember it harshly. A film that was not a humongous... It made enough money that, or at least, I mean, there's a sequel eventually, but after a couple years. But I mean, it's not considered a classic. It's not considered great. It's not considered one of the best. For some, it's considered one of the worst. I mean, I can't say it's worse than Elektra or Catwoman or a ton of other shit. Fucking Flatline. Don't turn to Flatliners now. The heat is gone from his head. It's like one of those headache commercials. They show like the inside of someone's head, and they always put like the redness. Oh, you took this pill. He's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. I can't make you go, what's the point of this test? Because it seemed like the only way someone could survive is if they have a healing factor. I mean, is it just really to make one big soldier? How is that going to proceed to other avenues? Unless they have a healing factor. So isn't this project kind of flawed to begin with? I mean, it uses DNA. They just go, well, what's the point of doing that? And kudos to Hugh Jackman being underwater like that. Dude, you just gave him adamantium. You think guns are gonna work? Fucking idiots. You get it? X. He formed an X, like X-Men. Can you see my dick? No. As I go through this Niagara Falls. Did a Peter Pan right off this fall? Don't see my dick. How the fuck are you gonna take his head off? He's made of adamantium. You didn't think this through, did you? Why didn't you erase his memory and then put the fucking adamantium in there? Just saying. You could have erased his memory, then we recover from that. You do this shit. But yeah, fuck if I know. As I'm already yawning. Is this what, Paul Martent? They don't find the... No, they didn't find a spaceship. They found a naked man running into the barn. Damn hippies. Get out of my barn and put some clothes on. What am I doing? I'm taking a shit. What do you think I'm doing? Yep, I had a crazy bender last night. Yes, I am on drugs. PCP. I got hazed. They took my clothes. I'm going back to college. Oh, this is a scene where people know what the way the effects are on the claws. That shot especially is like, yeah, that one when it comes out of the right hand. That's like cartoon. It's like Acme cartoon, like the shit that was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Ready for Baby Herman to come out with that. In a minute, in a minute. I'll be there in a minute, in a minute. Yeah, later we're gonna find Superman, his little baby, his spaceship when we're going to town. Hey man, now you think you're going to hear that? It does seem like Paul Marquette. Yeah, this couple ain't gonna make it either. And so again, when you think about it, here you are, you're seeing another Wolverine film. Well, the first Wolverine film. It's an hour and 47 minutes. Say 7 minutes for credits. Hour and 40 minutes. This is your first 50 minutes of the film. There's like, you know, halfway through. Let's say we're halfway through the movie. Halfway through, this is what we got. This is what we got so far. This is ridiculous. And it just seems like so uneventful, and you're just kind of sitting there, you're going, when is this going to really pick up? Even the escape from as Weapon X, there's nothing to the escape. It's just he stabbed one person or so, cut through the wall in a crappy CGI in the form of an X, and then he jumps off a fucking waterfall. That's really it. There's nothing else to the escape as Weapon X. There's none of that, like that weird visor helmet thing he had on, and just the... Didn't that take place like in the snow, or I can't remember. It's been forever. Yes, old man, I want to take all your shit. I want your money, your boots, and your jacket. Yeah, this time you don't... oh, shit. Yeah, they didn't make it. From this fuckhead sniper guy. Good job, loading. You got those people killed. Bravo. This house gonna blow up too. Or barn, I should say. Yep, that happens all the time. Jumping into helicopters like that. You can't blow his brains onto the road. It's made of adamantium now. You too stupid, or you already forgot that? The wide shots on the motorcycle are not too bad. Kudos to the stuntmen for performing these high-speed jumps. Of course, the up-close shots are Hugh Jackman on the green screen, so he doesn't get hurt, insurance, all that type of stuff. You know, the wide motorcycle shots not too bad. Going in and out of the trees. Now we got Humvee chasing him. Now we got Humvee in front of him. Yeah, the CGI isn't too great looking back on this. It really isn't. It's when the practical effects get put in there, it works. Like the wide shots with the helicopter chasing the motorcycle, those work. Like that shot of the Humvee being flipped over, nicely done by the crew, the stunt crew. But then you get these like these shots where it's always green screen, these up close shots of Hugh Jackman, the others. Yeah, that's how gravity works. You propel all the way up there, yeah. I didn't even mention this. Like, if you want to see a good version of this, play X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game. You know what? I have that video game. I still haven't played it because I haven't had time to play any games. I haven't had any time to play games for the past year. I have it. I would like to play it, but yeah, I would like to play it, but man, I wonder if I actually have it over here. Don't worry, I'm still watching. Put it over here. Fucker. That there. What was in this? I shouldn't be doing this while I'm doing this, but I am. Okay, so that. But I think it. No, shit, I don't think it is. All these games I haven't played yet. It's fucking. I need to think. I need to. Yeah, I need to do something. Yeah, you keep smiling, asshole. Yeah, fuck. Okay, so it's not in here. I know where it's at now. If it's not in here, it's in the shelf over there. Walking away slowly from explosions. Because that'd be another cliche I have in there. You know what? Van Damme did that better in Hard Target. At least he was running away, and it was real. Like, it was really Van Damme and really an explosion behind him. And he's like running. And you could tell it's real. Here you tell it's green screen, and so it loses any effect. It truly does. When you have stuff like that. It's back on here. But yeah. Pretty much them going, we just made this guy indestructible. Are you fucking kidding me? Whose stupid idea was that? That was mine, sir. It was my stupid idea. Why the fuck did you do that? I don't know. I'm fucking genius. Like all these other fucking geniuses. Oh, we got Cyclops. Fucking Cyclops. I have nothing personal against Cyclops. Just they never really use him. Too much effect. In any of these movies, honestly. I'm looking. I know I have the game. Yeah, here it is. There we go. Watch a playthrough or play this game. I still need to play the rest of that one day. Probably start from scratch. Been so long I don't remember a damn thing about it. Sorry, I know this is off tangent, but I'm looking at all these games I haven't played. Deadpool, Duke Nukem Forever, fucking Gears of War games, Condemned, the other Serious Sam games. Fuck, I need to just do it, as Shia LaBeouf would say. Just do it. And you should always listen to Shia LaBeouf. Just do it! Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, huh? He's talking to Mr. Cowboy here about some island. Michael Bay's the island, or the island with Michael Caine, where he 50 calibers a whole platoon of evil pirates, which is a pretty badass moment. The Island from 1980. That's a film I like. Oh, we got the Blob. Not the Blob with Kevin Dillon. This is like a character of the Blob. I mean, I guess I don't mind them. No, he said bub. I guess I don't mind scenes of, hey, let's put the Blob in there, which is a character from the comics. Yeah, sorry I'm silent. I'm just saying I don't mind the idea of having this boxing match with the Blob. I wonder what other people think about this. Yeah, at least it, it brings another mutant into it where Wolverine can battle, even if this sort of humorous way. So the Blob is pretty much Butterbean. It's pretty much what Butterbean did to Johnny Knoxville and Jackass. Oh, the headbutt really got him. Was it elbow? Yeah. Adamantium. It's the bionic elbow from Lex Luger. And he fell down like Yokozuna. Man, that scene wasn't much from what... Man, for some reason I remember that scene being longer. That scene wasn't much. But I guess they went, it's... I guess, in retrospect, how you make it longer, I don't really know for a fact. It's pretty much Sabretooth is out trying to kidnap other mutants. Oh, that doesn't look the greatest. Him moving along the walls as if he's Catwoman. Dave finds out Stryker and Sabretooth on the same side. Getting used and abused. It's like one of those scenes, it's like, well, We gotta put X-Men in there somewhere, so just have it be one of the kids is Cyclops, and you have a Professor X with horrible de-aging CG at the end, and it's like, how do we fit this, force this fit of the other X-Men films into this? We gotta have more references to them, because apparently Wolverine story can't stand on its own. Which is, again, going back to the title, X-Men Origins. Just call it Wolverine. But then the sequel's called The Wolverine. So Stryker's doing experiments on mutants on the island. Which is kind of weird because in this film it's Logan going out to protect and save a bunch of mutants. Is that kind of almost what was happened at the end of the Logan? Because you had those mutants in the caravan and him and the daughter, the girl saving all of them. It's like almost a repeat of this. It also was weird because I think even at this time there was talks of a Gambit movie, but I don't know if they had this actor involved, because for a while it was supposed to be Channing Tatum, which I don't know how he would work on. I don't know about him as Gambit, but it seemed like they wanted to do a Gambit movie and then they just gave up. They kept postponing it, and then they just said, fuck it. Which I don't know if a Gambit movie would really be that profitable. I don't know if Gambit is that big of a character. I mean, he's a fun character in the X-Men cartoon. I think Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you did an X-Men film in the 90s, would have been the perfect Gambit. Just have him play his character in Hard Target, but use his more natural voice that's in the work print of Hard Target. Then he'd be a perfect Gambit. And then also the issue with having Gambit in this timeline is that how many years is it from this to the first X-Men movie? Quite a few years. So that means Gambit would be substantially older. When it usually seemed like Gambit was the same age as Cyclops and the other characters. So even if you brought Gambit back, wouldn't it have to be played by a much older actor now? Or at least somewhat older actor? Because isn't like, was it 10, 20 years? I don't know, I forget how long specifically. So again, even if you did a Gambit movie, would it be a period piece like in this timeline? Would it be, again, you'd what's this actor's name? Taylor Kish. I think would you have an older, like, put makeup on Taylor Kish to make him seem older? I don't know, man. I don't know. And also, like, this guy is fighting with Sabretooth. Why don't you teleport and warn Logan, and the both of you can fight him? I mean, is that like you can't get away? You're teleporting shit, or however you want to call it. Again, why didn't you just go to Logan? And yeah, another way of doing the death scene, but keeping with the PG-13. Now, the thing with these cars, I thought with the cars he made explosive charges with it. Or is that only in the cartoon? Like literally just like throwing them and they just push him back. Usually with the car, isn't like some kinetic energy? Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, I thought the cars would have had explosive nature to it. And then again, if you wanted to have a Gambit movie that kind of took the sales out, well, Wolverine just goes, phew. I'm like, there's your Gambit, people. That's how much of a pussy he is. It's like, wow, he's such a great lead for a potential future film. He got taken out by one elbow by Wolverine. Well, how important is this guy then? You know, instead of talking, just do it. Yeah, that was a well done practical, that explosion with all the debris flying about and the stuntmen. Not bad at all. Okay, what happened to the explosive cards though? I thought he had explosive cards. Or cards that he could make explosive. But he does more fighting with his fucking... Well, I mean, Gambit does have a staff, but just... And I don't know, this stuff just looks fucking ridiculous. This whole climbing up the walls, doing a fucking somersault across the fucking alleyway. This looks ridiculous. And this was parody, just... I get the idea, but just him going... It's like super fast motion. It's like I was seeing They Call Me Trinity. Like one of those Bud Spencer, Terrence Hill movies where he does like... Pew, pew. For all three people that get that reference. I think it's like They Still Call Me Trinity, or is the first one They Call Me Trinity. It's one of those two with that stuff. Anyway. And once again, it shows that Gambit's not really that tough of a character. Which it makes you go, why the fuck do I want to see a movie about this guy? So I would say the movie does a disservice. So it does a disservice to Deadpool. Does a disservice to Gambit. Hugh Jackman... Wolverine can't have his balls and his teeth. It's gotta be neutered because it's PG-13. I guess the whole notion is to have this DNA and then give the regenerative DNA to other mutants for soldiers. Oh yeah, you won't lie to me now that I found out your BS. About 30 minutes left in the film? Yeah, give or take, there's about 30 minutes left. Taylor Kitsch is another one of those actors that people in Hollywood try to make this big star. It just never worked out. Because wasn't he... Was he the guy in Battleship, or was it someone else? Because I get him confused with another guy. Emil Hirsch. I don't know why I get them confused. They look nothing alike, but I think he was the guy who was in Battleship, this guy. And that didn't do well. And then John Carter was the star of that, and that didn't do well. And then an Oliver Stone film, Savages, and that didn't do well. And that's why you don't really hear from Taylor Kitsch anymore, because he was in these films. It's kind of like, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like Sam Worthington and Jai Courtney, and like Jai Courtney, you know, oh, okay, I'm going to be in A Good Day to Die Hard, I'm going to be in Terminator Genesis, and Sam Worthington, okay, Avatar and the first Clash of the Titans, but then he was in Wrath of the Titans, and then he was in that movie Man on the Ledge, and then even Terminator Salvation, I don't think did much for his career. Actually, no, was Terminator Salvation, was that before Avatar? No, it doesn't matter. It's wrong. It doesn't matter. Well, I'm saying with like Taylor Kitsch, like you don't hear from him anymore. Yeah, I don't know what they thought. Oh, we'll make him Gambit. Maybe we'll do X-Men Origins Gambit. And we, I guess. He made into this very easily. This seemed like way too easily. You think there'd be some guards? You think there'd be some, well, I guess it's a trap. I mean, yeah, it's their trap for him. Thus they let him in. We need your DNA for the pool. The mutant killer. Deadpool. So that's why they call him Deadpool. For the pool to kill, I forgot about that fucking shit. That's where the name Deadpool in this movie. Oh my god, man. You know, how about Deadpool himself do a commentary on this movie? That's what needs to happen. Ryan Reynolds, hey, we're all stuck at home, man. As Deadpool, do a commentary on X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's what needs to happen. And I think a lot of people would sign off on that. Oh, there's your girl who's supposedly dead. But no, it's all ploy. She's real and you got fucked without lube. You got used and abused. Oh shit. Yeah, stand on one, get on one knee. Yeah, tell me about the day you died. Do it. Well, that answered my question. I forgot about that. That answered my question why she didn't back up. See, I forgot about that too. That shows how memorable this film is. I forgot about that. Oh man. Yep, you got played better than a stack of cards. You've been ignoring your instincts through the entire fucking film. Which is what people wanted to see. That's the other thing, this movie's just fucking boring. I mean, I've been yawning throughout this fucking thing. Because it's so fucking boring, this movie. Such an uneventful film. Like, the few action scenes, there's nothing that's spectacular about them. Couple decent stunt work, to be fair. You know, the boxing match with the Blob, the helicopter motorcycle bit, the scene with Gambit. And there's that jealousy where Wolverine has adamantium, but he can't. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just... Now we got this fight scene between Wolverine and Sabretooth, but again, not too bad staging on some of this, crashing through the window, coming down to the floor below. Just do it or do something, man. Thrust up. Do something. We haven't seen them as an animal. See, this would make sense if throughout the film we've been seeing them as this animal that just cannot be controlled, this animal that has this unrelenting rage, this animal that just kills or destroys, and then an arc where now he won't do it. But we haven't seen that at all, so this scene falls flat. You're not an animal. He hasn't been an animal for the entire fucking movie. So again, this point is a defeatist point of view. There's nothing successful about it. Not one fucking bit. So it just comes off as fucking empty. Just fucking empty. Just like I don't know. And okay, you make an X-Men movie. You don't have the big battle with Sabretooth. It's with this fucking shitty Weapon 11, Deadpool, fucking ridiculous crap. And all these other mutants. Which is weird if you're looking at the timeline of Logan. All these mutants are going to be dead anyway, so it doesn't matter that he saved all these people. Because all are going to be dead by the beginning of Logan. Again, that's another one of my issues with Logan, that if you look at it on that frame of mind, it makes everything in these movies completely pointless. That's why you just have to look at some alternate... I mean, it is an alternate, but I'm just saying this one-off Logan story instead of thinking about the history. And I don't know. A what-if story. You just have to look at the what-if story. Which is probably what a lot of people do, but I'm just saying. Oh, cool Deadpool, but no. That also would have been another fun joke. I mean, they kind of make this joke, but actually have Deadpool fight and kill this Deadpool. Like, really go to town on it. I mean, like a real all-out battle would have been interesting to me. And they kind of make the joke in Deadpool too, but again, I know there's talks of Deadpool 3, but now that Disney has it, they probably don't... Why should I trust Disney? That's my reaction to that. I have to wonder what Ryan Reynolds was thinking in his head when he was doing this. That's what I think. That's what I mean. It would be cool to have a commentary with Ryan Reynolds. Just what is like, what was his frame of mind? Like, I know the Deadpool character, and here I am with my mouth shut, with this weird fucking thing on my mouth, all this other stupid shit on me. What the fuck am I doing? How the fuck is this Deadpool? What the fuck did I sign myself up for? Because there was a time where, you know, there was Blade Trinity, there was this movie, Green Lantern, although I like Green Lantern, but I know I'm alone in that. From which you file Professor Xavier talked to him. And that's it, like Deadpool now has like all this combination of powers. They must have really thought this was such an epic fight, epic battle for this. So now we got this 2-on-1 battle. And it's just like, you know, to have Wolverine and Sabretooth working together and find this dumbass, stupefying version of Deadpool, and you know, why? You just look at why. And just having all these fucking powers out of his ass. Like, you got teleportation, now he's got the Cyclops stuff. I didn't know you could block it with his claws. Some of that would get through, wouldn't it? Or whatever. Well, he got his head. Right, he's got what, the death mall fucking death scene. Well, that wasn't his head. That was the other half of his body cut off. But just, oh my god. And of course we gotta explain why he's got amnesia. So this adamantium bullets will become part of it. How the hell does he know that his memories won't come back? He seems pretty damn sure that, like, how the hell does he know that? Would he read a book? You shoot someone with adamantium bullets, the memories won't come back? Read a fucking manual? And like Sabretooth, okay, that's the last thing he says, but then the next time we see him is X-Men, where there's no acknowledgement. Of course, with Wolverine, he has no memory, but with Sabretooth, like, nothing. I just, even that doesn't make sense. It's like, did the people watch the first X-Men movie? And yeah, they just happen to have Gambit there. And then just all this fucking green screen. And I don't know. I'm pretty much just waiting for the ending. Pretty much finds the girl, gets shot, she dies, he wakes up, he has no memory. Bing, bang, boom. It's supposed to be the tragedy part. Sadly, I just don't give a shit. I just don't. Just don't. I can't help it. I just don't care. I don't give a shit. Captain? I think it's right when he turns is when he gets shot. Just supposed to be the oh shit moment for the audience. I think it's coming up soon. Man, there's only like 10 minutes left of the movie. Oh, okay, so he doesn't turn around. It's a bad decision. Bad decision. No more memory. It's been pretty stupid of Wolverine to do that. Just saying. So now you know Wolverine was an idiot. And you know this ain't going to happen because he's in X-Men 2, so he can't kill himself. So what, lady? You're dying. It's fine if you let the motherfucker die. He just shot your fucking boyfriend in the head twice with adamantium bullets. I think let him shoot himself would be fucking fine and dandy. In the middle of fucking Chernobyl, where the fuck they're at. It looks like Chernobyl. Okay, I have to say the movie's better than Chernobyl Diaries. If that's any fucking merit. I mean, if I rank the X-Men films... X-Men 2... Oh. Oh my god. The young de-aged Xavier is so like an egg. He looks like an egg. So fucking ridiculous. And did you need that in this? It just makes the timeline even whatever. So does the like if it went through the adamantium and got a hole in his head, does that mean the adamantium still has holes there? You would think Gambit would be able to tell him a bunch of shit about what happened, at least some of it. He would at least have some kind of info. That's a girl who loved him and dead, but he doesn't remember. That's sort of the tragic part of it. Tragic notion. Does he ask like, do you know her? Yeah, he's like, no. Yeah. I just damn it won't tell him because he don't find his own way. You would think you want to ask him questions about why the fuck would he do that? Wouldn't he be like, hey, maybe this guy could have answers for me as to who the fuck I am and what the fuck happened? Now we gotta do that because it's the cooler thing to do. Doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's just the cooler thing to do. And yeah, I'm not gonna ask this guy who knows about me and probably has answers to questions I'm going to fucking have. Nah. Nah. Maybe you shouldn't have damn it at the end in the fucking first place then. You know? As he runs out of Chernobyl. Oh my god. And the movie's over. Well, to sum up, this movie... Actually, wait a minute. I gotta fast forward. There's something else. There's Stryker walking. Walking. Siren blaring. I don't know why you needed this scene. Like, why do we need this scene about Colonel Stryker? What was the point of that? Like, you didn't need that at all. It didn't fucking matter. And I'm just looking through the cast. Yeah. But yeah, it... unnecessary origin to tell. Most people already knew the origin, knew enough that there's really not much new nuggets to get out of making a movie. The action scenes aren't really up to snuff. There's nothing that's spectacular or sensational about it. It just feels bland. It just feels remote, routine, by the numbers, nothing special, nothing unique, nothing that will set the world on fire. PG-13, so you got neuter Wolverine, getting the claws out, let him off the leash. Love story that I don't care about. This seems like an assembly-made movie. You have an assembly line, you pit this, you pit that, and then boom, you got the movie. It's like, wow, that just didn't seem like it had much merit of noteworthy proportion. I just lame, boring movie. That's another thing. It's just a boring film. I'm looking at the end because I think there's another shot at the end. I want to say it's Deadpool. Yeah, because you have the wreckage. Yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds' eyes are going shh. Well, I guess maybe was there some thought of making a Deadpool movie too, or put him in another Wolverine film, or I don't know what the fuck. Just going shh. That's my thoughts on fuck. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see how this microphone worked, and see you guys later. Bye bye.